So let's start. This week, we're going to be talking about the two spies. Who are the two spies? There was two sets of spies. One set of spies by Moshe Rabbeinu, and another set by Yoshua. And by looking at the stories of Moshe and Yoshua, we're going to see the differences between them, and we're going to see how we have to behave. What's the mistakes? What's the good things that they did? And so let's start. וישלח אותם משה לתור את ארץ כנען. Moshe sent them to tour the land of Canaan. ויאמר עליהם, and he said to them, עלו זה בנגב, it says go up through the Negev, ועליתם את ההר, go through the mountain. וראיתם את הארץ, and I want you to go and see what is the land. מהי, what is the land? By the way, this is Tanya. The land is you, and you need to conquer it. It says, before you conquer it, you need to understand how are you going to conquer it? How are you going to conquer what? What's its strong parts? What's the weak parts? How are you going to conquer the inclination? Mai ואת העם היושב עליה. Look at the nation that sits on it, the נפש בהמית. Look at it. What's its advantages? What's its disadvantages? החזק הוא הרפה. Where is the evil inclination weak? Where is the evil inclination strong? המעט הוא עם רב. In which part of you have a lot of evil inclination? In which parts you don't? When it comes to food, maybe you don't have. When it comes to other things, maybe you do have. You have to understand yourself. ומה הארץ אשר הוא יושב בה. And also the land that it sits in it. In other words, the evil inclination has territories. The territory of the heart is a better territory for him than the territory of the mind. And things like this. הטובה היא עם רע, is it the territory is advantages for the evil inclination, not for the evil inclination. ומהערים אשר הוא יושב בהנה. What kind of protection does he have in these territories? הבחנים, הבמחנים, במבצרים, is it sitting in walled cities? Is it cities in open cities? ומה הארץ, השמנה עם רזה, does it get, the land brings a lot of produce, little produce. היש בעץ עם מים, there are trees in it, there's no trees. והתחזקתם ולקחתם מפרי הארץ, and become strong and you're going to take from the fruit of the land. והימים ימי ביקורים ענבים, and the day is a day that the grapes ripened. And then it continues, ואת העם היושב עליה, the nation that sits upon it. It says, החזק הוא הרפה. Are they strong or are they weak? המעט הוא עם רב. Are they little or are they a lot? ומה הארץ אשר הוא יושב בה? And what's the land that he sits in it? מניין אתם יודעים כוחם? It says, from where do you know their strength? So how would you get to the conclusion if it's a strong point of the land or if it's a weak point of the land? אם במחנים הם שרויים, אם במחניים הם שרויים, גיבורים. If the cities that they sit in is open cities, there's no walls, it means these guys are warriors, they're not afraid of anybody. They don't need walls. בוטחים על כוחם, they're mighty warriors if they're in open cities. אם במבצרים, if they have castles, if they have walls, you know, these are weaklings. אם במבצרים, חלשים הם וליבם רך. They're weak people, they're soft, easy to conquer them. Okay? So let's see what happened. ויעלו ויתורו את הארץ, they went up, they toured the land. ממדבר צין עד רחוב לבוא חמת. From מדבר צין until לבוא חמת. Another word that the English took from the Hebrew, tur. ויתורו. The word tur comes from the Hebrew. ויעלו בנגב, and they went out from the south. ויבואו עד חברון, and they came until חברון. ושם אחימן ששי ותלמי, ילידי הענק. Over there you had giants, the sons of giants. וחברון 7 שנים נבנתה לפני צאן מצרים. חברון was created 7 years before מצרים. Continue on page 4. ויבואו עד נחל אשכול, ויכרתו משם זמורה. They killed until the river of Eshkol. They cut down a bunch of grapes. ואשכול ענבים אחד, and one bunch of grapes. ויסעו במות בשניים. And they carry me with a stick, 2, which actually means 8. You look at the Rashi, you'll see why it's 8. Yeah. ומן הרימונים ומן התאנים. They also took a pomegranate and figs. So it was 8, 9, and 10 people. וישובו מתור הארץ מקץ 4 משפחות. Maybe 6. Okay. I don't know.
No,
and 8, right? So it's 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah. Yeah. And they returned from the land in the end of 40 days. Rashi says, "Vayavo ad Hebron." It says, "Vayavo ad Hebron," and he came until Hebron in the singular. So Rashi says, "Kalev levado alach." Only Kalev went. V'nishtatech al kivrei avot. Why did he go to Hebron? Because that's where Marat HaMachpelah is. That's where Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are buried. שלא יהיה ניסת לחברם להיות בעצתם. He davened, so he's not going to fail together with the other spies, because he already sensed that the energy of the other spies wasn't going well. וכן הוא אומר, and this is what he says, this is the reward later on, God gave him Hebron to Kalev. ולא אתן את הארץ אשר דרך בה. To him I will give the city of Hebron, because he went over there. וכתיב ויתנו לחלב את חברון. As a reward that he went to daven, not to be בעצת המרגלים, they gave him Hebron. Okay. So after they went through the whole process, they're coming back. וילכו ויבואו אל משה. And they went back, they came to Moshe. ואל אהרון ואל כל עבדת בני ישראל אל מדבר פרן. To Moshe, Aaron, to all the Jewish people, they're coming back to the desert. וישיבו אותם דבר ואת כל העדה ויראום את פרי הארץ. They told them exactly what happened, and they showed them the fruit of the land. ויספרו לו ויאמרו, and they told the nation, and they said, באנו אל הארץ אשר שלחתנו. It says, we did go to the land that you sent us. וגם זבת חלב ודבש. It's excellent. It's beautiful land. Flowing with milk and honey. וזה פריה. Here we have a proof. But then they said, אפס, but it says, it's all for nothing. Why? כי אז הים היושב בארץ. כי אז העם היושב בארץ. Because mighty is the nation that sits in the land. והערים בצורות גדולות מאוד, and not only they're mighty, they're also walled cities, double. וגם ילידי הענק ראינו שם, and also there's giants over there. And also what? Amalek Yoshev Beretz Negev, the one enemy that the main enemy that we already experienced, it is also sitting in the south. והחיתי והיבוסי והאמורי יושבים בהר, and the other nations are sitting strategically on the mountains. והכנעני יושב על הים ועל יד הירדן. The Canaanite is sitting on this. In other words, we're in trouble. Rashi says, I don't understand. They're trying to tell the Jewish people not to go into the land. So why are they tell them that the land is flowing with milk and honey? It's going against themselves. So Rashi explains, why are they saying they're going against themselves? If you don't want to sell it, so why are you selling it? That's the question of Rashi. So Rashi says, Zavat chalav udvashi. Rashi says, land flowing with milk and honey. Kol davar sheker, he says that everything which is a lie, she'en omrim bo ktsat emet betchilato, that you don't say a little bit of truth in the beginning, en mitkayem besofo. People aren't going to believe you. It says you always, in every lie, you have to put some truth in the beginning. So they knew if you're not going to say, we're going to lie completely, people are going to look at us, I don't trust them. But if you say, yeah, it's good, then we're okay. Yeah. But then there's a reason for you to trust it. That's why it brings up your credibility. Let's go with that. But, so they're going against it. And then, what happens? Vayahas Kalev et ha'am el Moshe. So the entire nation is already standing over there and telling Moshe, we're not going. So Kalev talks quiet, and he silences the people when it comes to Moshe. Vayomer alo na'ale vayarashnu אותה כי יכולנו חלה. It says, it's not true. It says, we're able to go up and conquer it. והאנשים אשר עלו עמו אמרו לא נוכל לעלות אל העם כי חזק הוא ממנו. But the other people, the other 10 said, we can go to the nation. They're stronger than us. ויוציאו דיבת הארץ אשר תרו אותה לבני ישראל לאמור, and they talked against the land, saying, הארץ אשר עברנו בה לתור אותה, ארץ אוכלת יושביה היא. The land that we passed is a land that eating its inhabitants. God made a miracle, so people would die, so there would be funerals, so nobody would see the spies. So everywhere they went, there were funerals. So it says, look, we went through the land, everywhere we went, there were funerals. וכל העם אשר ראינו בתוכה אנשי מידות. And all the people that we saw in it are giants, the big people. ושם ראינו, in other words, they're brave people. ושם ראינו את הנפילים, בני ענק מן הנפילים. And we saw the giants over there. ונהי בעינינו כחגבים, וכן היינו ביניהם. And it says, when we looked at them, we were like how do you call them? Grasshoppers. And also they looked at us like grasshoppers. And in the Sfat Emet brings in Parshat Shelach, Bamidrash, the Midrash says, Ita, hachet shelahem, it brings that their sin was, Ki mi higid lahem. It says, they can say, we were like grasshoppers in their eyes. But how did it desire? Did it go into the guy's head? They know what was in his head to tell you that. Shema yatzlem kemelachim. It says maybe when they looked at you strong like angels. How did you decide? Why you went into their heads? So it says, over there it says ayen sham. It says look over there for the answer over there. Aval hakol emet. It says but nevertheless we're not going to go into it. Everything is truth. It says what happened. Over here you have the proof. In other words, they did know. How did they know that they looked at them like grasshoppers? It says how? כי על ידי שהיו שפלים בעצמם כחגבים. It says once you know that you're a mouse, you know that you're a grasshopper, automatically looks at you like a grasshopper. So that's how they knew. לכן כן היו בעיניהם. So they were true. It was truth. It's because they were like grasshoppers, the other guys looked at them like grasshoppers, because that's what they felt themselves. כי הכל תלוי בעבודת האדם. Everything depends on the work of man. Up to here is the story with the Meraglim in our Parsha. In the Haftarah, we have another story with the Meraglim. We're going to read it quickly again before we start to talk about it. וישלח יהושע בן נון מן השיטים 2 אנשים מרגלים חרש לאמור. Yeshua sends 2 spies. לכו ראו את הארץ, go spy the land, ואת יריחו, and specifically the town of Yericho. וילכו ויבואו בית אישה זונה ושמה רחב וישכב שמה. וישכבו שמה. They came to the house of innkeeper, let's call her, an innkeeper woman, and her name was רחב, and they laid over there. ויאמר למלך יריחו לאמור, הנה אנשים באו הנה הלילה מפני בני ישראל לחפור את הארץ. And immediately his spies of the king of Yericho says, hey, we think there's 2 spies in that inn. וישלח יהושע. So Rashi says, it says וישלח יהושע, יהושע sent. So Rashi says, על כרכי אני צריך לומר. So Rashi says, I am forced to say, שבתוך ימי אבל משה שלחם. That when was this done? This was done immediately after the death of Moshe Rabbeinu. Yeah, immediately after. וישלח מלך יריחו אל רחב לאמור. And then it says on page 6, and he sent the king of Yericho to Rachav to say, הוציא האנשים הבאים אלייך. So the policeman came and says, bring out the guys that are hiding by you. אשר באו לביתך כי לחפור את כל הארץ באו, because we have information, these guys are spies. ותיקח האישה את 2 האנשים, the woman took the 2 men, ותצפנו, and she hid him, by the way. Yeah. We're not going to discuss it. ותאמר כן באו אליי האנשים ולא ידעתי מאין המה. And she said again, see, you have to say the truth, because otherwise people will know you're lying. So he says, of course they came. She cannot lie. If she just lies, nobody was here, I don't know. He says, we know you're lying. He says, yeah, they came, but they're not here anymore, they left. ויהי השער לסגור בחושך, והאנשים יצאו. It says, before sunset, they left. לא ידעתי אנה הלכו האנשים, I have no idea where they went to. רדפו מהם אחריהם, כי תשיגום. It says, run after them quick, you're going to catch them. והיא העלתם הגגה, and she took them to the roof, ותתמנם בשפתי העץ הרוחות לה על הגג, and she hid them over there. והאנשים רדפו אחריהם דרך הירדן על המעברות. So the policemen went after them. והשאר סגרו אחרי כאשר יצאו הרופאים אחריהם. And they closed the gates. והמה טרם ישכבון, before they went to sleep, והיא עלתה עליהם על הגג, she went up on the roof. ותאמר אל האנשים, and she said to the men, ידעתי, and here's the spy, she says, I know, כי נתן השם לכם את הארץ. I know it's over. I know you're going to win. Why? Because now the situation is exactly the opposite, the situation that was 40 years ago. It says, how do we know? וכי נפלה אימתכם עלינו. It says, the other spies, when they came, they were scared. They were trembling. Now, you know who's the one who's trembling? The nation is trembling.
They were trembling not before.
Yeah. וכי נמוגו כל יושבי הארץ מפניכם. It says, everybody in the land is trembling before you. I get clients from all over the land. I know what I'm talking about. Over here, this is the place. כי שמענו את אשר הוביש השם את מי ים סוף. We heard the miracles that God did. מפניכם בצאתכם ממצרים, all the miracles he did when you left Egypt. ואשר עשיתם לשני מלכי האמורי אשר בירדן. We also heard about what you did to the other kings on the other side of the Jordan. לסיחון ולאוג אשר החרמתם אותם. You completely destroyed them. ונשמע וימס לבבנו. We heard it and we are trembling. ולא קמה עוד רוח באיש מפניכם. It says nobody has even the will to go and fight. That's it. We desponded. We know we lost. Why? כי השם אלוקיכם הוא אלוקים בשמיים מעל ועל הארץ מתחת. We all realize nobody can beat your God. Your God is the best. Okay. Continue. ותורידם בחבל בעד החלון. She put them down through a rope. כי ביתה בגיר החומה, because her house was in the wall of the city. ובחומה היא יושבת. In the wall she sits. ותאמר להם, ההר הלכו, she said to them, run away to the mountain, ונפגעו בכם הרודפים ונכבדתם שם 3 ימים, so that you hide over there for 3 days, because otherwise you're going to be found. עוד שוב הרודפים, והשאתם אחד יחורד. So wait 3 days, they're going to stop looking for you, then you can go. וילכו ויבואו ההרה, they went, they sat by the mountain, וישבו שם 3 ימים, עד שבו הרודפים, ויגפו בכל הדרך ולא מצאו. They looked for them everywhere, they couldn't find them. Let's continue. Now they coming back. וישובו שני האנשים וירדו מההר. These 2 spies come back. They come back from the mountain. By the way, these 2 spies are again Caleb and Pinchas, because Yoshua is not. ויעברו ויבואו אל יהושע בן נון ויספרו לו את כל המוצאות אותם. They came to Joshua ben Nun. They told him everything that found them. ויאמרו אל יהושע, and they said to Yoshua, כי נתן השם בידינו את כל הארץ, God gave in our hands the entire land, וגם נמוגו כל יושבי הארץ מפנינו. Also it's going to be easy because they're all scared. They're all running scared. Okay, these are the 2 stories. Now we're going to start to analyze the 2 differences between the stories. Page 7. ובזה ישנם כמה פרטים שלמדים מהסיפור. Now we can learn a few things from the story. אודות שליחותם של המרגלים, about the whole things of the spies. יהודי שהולך בשליחותו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, a Jew, he's got a mission by God. God gave us a mission, be a good Jew, right? In other words, God told him, conquer the land. What's the land? Conquer your body. Conquer your evil inclination. That's their mission. In other words, the mission of a Jew, become a Beinoni. That's what God told us. become a Beinoni. צריך לדעת מהי מטרתה של השליחות. In other words, we need to know what is our job in, what did we come over here for? We came to this world to become a Beinoni. That's the matara. That's what the neshama is down. When you come down into this world as a neshama, God told the neshama, your job is to what? To be a Beinoni. That's your job. To be a Beinoni. That's what you need to do. כלומר, איזה פרטים נכללים בשליחותו? We need to know exactly what God expects of us. ואיזה לא, what he wants us to do and what he doesn't want us to do. He doesn't want you to be a tzaddik. He doesn't want you to become a tzaddik. He wants you to be what? To be a Beinoni. Yeah. ולדוגמה, for example, Let's take examples. המסופר בפרשתנו, when we're talking about our parsha, מטרת שליחותם של המרגלים הייתה לברר את טיבה של הארץ. It says, God sent you. It says, I want you to learn about yourself. Learn about yourself. What do you mean? You have evil inclination? I want you to learn מה טיבה of the evil inclination. Where is it good? Where is it bad? I want you to learn about it. You have to be an expert about your evil inclination. Where are you good? Where are you bad? Where are you at fault? Where it is strong? Where it is not strong? And every person is different. But your job, you have to exactly learn. טיבה של הארץ. באיזה אופן יהיה יותר קל יותר לכבשה? There's going to be many strategies. Your job is to notice which strategies to use at which point. There's going to be many strategies. I want you to be clear by you which strategies to use over here, which strategies to do over there. וכיוצא בזה, and similar. So it says, what was the problem? What is the problem of the מרגלים? חטאם של המרגלים היה, in other words, God comes to you in the morning and he tells you, Mister, your job is today to tell me where is your evil inclination strong, in what things is your evil inclination strong, in what things is your evil inclination weak. So you come in the end of the day and you tell God, excuse me, the evil inclination is strong over here and the evil inclination is weak over here, is weaker over here. But now you tell God, הוסיפו על שליחות זו. Says he just come and told you, I want you to know yourself. I want you to check yourself, where are you strong and where are you weak? That's what he tells you. כלומר, שמלבד הסיפור אודות המתרחש בארץ, so they came back and they gave a good report. Because some cities are strong, over here they're strong, over here they're weaker, over here they're dying, the fruits are good. They're giving good reports. הערים בצורות, it says over here, it's very strong, these cities. שגם פרט זה נוגע למילוי שליחותם, כי לדעת באיזה אופן לכבוש את הערים, it says that's good. You can say, giants over there, these things are walled cities, everything is good. Do you know what the problem is? הוסיפו ואמרו, they come to God and God tells you, go check yourself. In other words, how you can conquer the evil inclination. So you come back, he says, my evil inclination is strong over here and weak over here, and therefore I see how strong it is. Forget about it, God. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. Cannot be done. Cannot be done. It's the truth. It cannot be done. They're giants. I look at my evil inclination. He says, forget about it. Look, for 50 years we're trying to become menches, and I don't know if we're going forward, it looks like we're going backwards. Yeah? ואמרו שמסקנתם היא, and they said, זבת חלב ודבש היא וזה פריה. It says, look, it's flowing with milk and honey, this is the fruit. And then they added, לא נוכל לעלות אל העם. We can't go up. We can't do it. Why? כי חזק הוא ממנו. It says, God, it's stronger than, ממנו means from you. Yeah. God, it's even stronger than you. In other words, if you're going to make me a tzaddik, in other words, if God, you are going to do the job for me, yeah, then it can be done. But you telling me, God, that I have to do the job? I have to, with my Yetzer Hara, is in other words, we're telling, my Yetzer Hara, we're telling God, is stronger than the godly soul. We can't do it. Give me a better godly soul, then we can do that. God, increase or decrease here, then we'll be able to do it. But the way you built me, I'm not able to do that. ובכך חרגו משליחותם, and that's what God doesn't like. So I didn't ask you.
If you can or you can.
That's right. שהרי שליחותם לא נועדה כדי לקבוע אם יכולים לכבוש את הארץ אם לאו. God says, look, a Beinah needs to know his weaknesses and his advantages. He needs to know whether Yetzer Hara is good, Yetzer Hara is bad. That's what I sent you to figure out. And once I sent you to figure out, I also said you, go and conquer it. Right? I told you, don't come back and tell me I can't do it. כי אם לברר אודות מהותה של הארץ וכיוצא בזה ותו לא. All I sent you in the morning, when you have to learn about your evil inclination, you just need to know where you're strong, where you're weak. I'll tell you what to do then. I will tell you what to do then. You don't come and decide, oh, because I realize how strong the evil inclination is, it cannot be done. וזהו החילוק בין המרגלים ששלח משה למרגלים ששלח יהושע. And now you can see the differences between the spies that Moses sent and the spies that Yeshua sent. שאת הסיפור אודות שני סוגי המרגלים קוראים ביחד. This week we're going to read about the two stories in the Chumash and in the Haftarah. Why are we reading it together? Because to see the differences between the attitude of the two spies so we can learn from it. המרגלים ששלח יהושע, the spies that Yeshua sent, התנהגו באופן המתאים ומילאו את שליחותם כראוי. They did whatever they were asked to do. כמו שכתוב בהפטרה, ויאמרו אל יהושע, and they said to Yeshua, כי נתן השם בידינו את כל הארץ. It says, God gave us the entire land. It's already there. It says, we don't have to do nothing. When they will come with the attitude that it can be done, yeah, it says, forget about it. It's already done. In other words, we don't have to even to battle. They're already running away. They just heard about it. But if they would have came like mice, you know how they would have acted? Like mice. When you come and you know that God is behind you, He told you to conquer the land, therefore it's possible to conquer the land. If God told it to me, it means it can be done. What do you mean? וגם נמוגו כל יושבי הארץ מפנינו. It says they already are afraid of us. בהתאם לשליחותם לברר האם כבר נפל פחדם של בני ישראל על יושבי הארץ. And this is exactly what Yeshua sent them. What did Yeshua say? Yeshua sent them, it says, I want to know how scared are they, how motivated are they to fight. If they would have came back and they would have said, Yeshua, they're motivated to fight, Yeshua might have said, you know what, we're not ready yet. Let's do something else. Let's demotivate them and then go in. Yeah, but they came, they knew that their job is just to tell him how motivated they are. So they told him how motivated they are. And God by himself did it to make it easy. And why were they motivated? Because God is doing everything. God makes sure that it's already going to happen. It says they're not motivated because of the might of the Jewish people. They're motivated because they heard about all the miracles that God did to the Jewish people. Or not, maybe they're not scared, או שעדיין צריך להטיל עליהם אימה ופחד. And maybe they need to give them a little bit more fight. ומה שהיו צריך להתחבא 3 ימים, כמסופר בהפטרה, it says, what's the whole thing about them hiding for 3 days? הרי זה כדי שיוכלו לשוב ליהושע, למסור לו על עדות מילוי שליחותם. In other words, they were not delaying the end. It was necessary because they need to tell Yeshua the message. Otherwise, they're going to get caught, and Yeshua will not know that now is the time to go and conquer them. In other words, it's not just because it's a delay in the taking. Some commentary says maybe you would think if God is already ready, it doesn't matter. He says it does matter because if they're going to get caught, Yeshua would not know that the land is ready for conquering. That's why the 3 days delay. לעומתם, on the other hand, המרגלים ששלח משה לא התנהגו כראוי. But the spies that Moshe sent, they don't behave the right way. מפני שהוסיפו ואמרו את מסקנתם האישית. They came and they said their opinion. שלא לשם כך נועדה שליחותם כנזכר לעיל. That wasn't why Moshe sent them. Moshe sent them to how, not if. He asked how. They should have came back. He says, we don't know how. Caleb and Yeshua came back and they said, we do know how. So let's continue, page 9. וההוראה מזה מובנת בפשטות. So what's the teaching? כאשר יהודי הולך בשליחותו של הקדוש ברוך הוא. So when you wake up in the morning and you know that in order to be a Hasidic man, you have to behave in a certain manner. You're telling yourself, I know it's not going to happen. I know there's no way I can do this, or there's no way I can do that. עליו לדעת, he needs to know, שאין כל ספק בכך שבוודאי יוכל למלא את השליחות. He should know that for sure he will be able to do his mission. We're on page 9. ובלשון פרשתנו, and in the language of this week's parsha, הלא נעלה וירשנו אותה. He has to know if you have a mission, if God tells you to become a Beinoni, or to behave in a certain manner about Torah and mitzvahs, he told you 613 commandments, you can't go and tell God, you know what, God, it's too much. I've been trying. It's not like we haven't been trying. We've been trying and can't be done. He says, God says to you, you've been trying, let's take the strategy. Where are you weak? Where are you strong? Come back with the report. Don't tell me can be done or can be. First of all, give me all the places you're weak, give me all the places you're strong, and I will show you how it can be done. It says, it's so strong, we're not able to. Yeah? Because it is possible. If God told us, keep all 613 commandments, it is possible for us to keep all 613 commandments. וכפירוש רש"י, like Rashi says, "Alo na'ale afilu b'shamayim." It says we can go up even if it's in the heavens. והוא אומר לנו, עשו סולמות ועלו שם, נצליח בכל דבריו. And God says, make ladders and go up to the heavens, we'll be able to do that. Because God is the one who says you can, so therefore you can. כלומר, גם כאשר הדבר נראה רחוק מן המציאות, also when it looks very far from reality, לעלות לשמיים, to go up to the heavens, הרי כאשר נותנים ליהודי שליחות זו, when a Jew gets such a mission, בוודאי שנותנים לו את כל הכוחות הדרושים לשליחות זו. In other words, you have 613 commandments, your job is to come back to God. God, these commandments are hard for me, these commandments are easy for me. These commandments I can do easily, this commandment I'm struggling with. Once you know which commandment is easy, which command is struggling, then we can start working on it. But don't say, I can't see it done. 600 things, it's too much. No, one by one, we're going to go wait. We're going to see it. ומכיוון שהולך בכוחו של המשלח, once we know that we're going with the power of God, הרי בוודאי שמצליח בכל פרטי השליחות, then for sure we're going to be able to do all the details of the mission. Middle of page 9. So now the question is, so why do you have to check? Just go. Why do you have to? If God is behind you, what's the difference? ומה שעליו לבדוק, and the fact that you have to check which places is strong, which places are weak, הרי זה רק מהם העניינים המיוחדים שצריכים לעשות בהם במקום זה. It says, you're not checking to see whether you can conquer it or whether you cannot conquer it. You're checking to see which strategy to use in which place. Because in order to conquer, they thought God is sending them to check if it can be conquered. He says, no. He's sending it to say how it can be conquered. So come back. Over here we need this strategy. Over there we need a different strategy. וכמו שכתוב, like they said, ויתורו את הארץ, and they toured the land. היינו, what do you mean to tour the land? לראות מהו העניין הכי נחוץ שצריכים לתקן לכל הראש. In other words, every place there's a thing that you have to do first and a thing that you have to do second. Not every place is the same. You know, when it comes to shlichus, it's very shluchim there's in every town. In every town in the world there's shluchim. You know, there's a shluchim in Bnei Brak. You know, you will ask yourself, what does a shliach do in Bnei Brak? What does a Chabad Shliach do Bnei Brak? Does he give people candles? He doesn't give people candles for Shabbat because everybody over there lights candles. Does he teach them Gemara? Everybody learns Gemara day and night. So what does he do over there? In Bnei Brak, a Shliach also has to do. He has to do. He has to teach whatever people in Bnei Brak need. They need Chassidus, they need Kabbalah, they need some deeper understanding. So that's what he needs to teach. If he comes, the same shliach comes over from Bnei Brak and he goes to Tallahassee, and in Tallahassee he gives them Kabbalistic ideas, who is he talking to? It's not that he doesn't need to. He needs to, but after he talks to them about, first of all, being a human being, and second of all, that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. And then he needs to talk to them about light Shabbos candles. And then he needs to talk to them about maybe once a week put on tefillin. And then slowly, every shliach has a different job. But in other words, that's why he needs to go and fill the area. Not because if it can be conquered or not. God told you go conquer that point. Fill the area how to conquer. What you have to do. כאשר רואה בשמקום זה ישנה חלישות בשמירות טהרת המשפחה, when he sees this in some place or in yourself, it doesn't matter, some place in yourself, a person doesn't keep the family purity, or חלישות בשמירת הכשרות, or a person doesn't keep kosher to the right level, הדלקת נרות שבת קודש וכיוצא בזה, lighting Shabbos candles, keeping Shabbos and similar things. So the first thing he says, no, one cannot say, no, it's not for me. This is too hard. This is for religious people. This is not for me. I can conquer it. No. First of all, you have to conquer it. And secondly, I'm weak over here. If you're weak over here, now we can come up with a plan. יודע הוא שצריך להתחיל לעסוק בעניין פרטי זה. So if it's Shabbos or it's Kashrus, it says, you know what? I need to start Shabbos or Kashrus. So today, if somebody is not keeping Kashrus to the right level or Shabbos to the right level, a person needs to make in his mind an idea. What am I going to do to make my Kashrus one level higher, to make my Shabbos one level higher? This is kosher. Kosher. To make my keeping kosher one level higher. To keep Shabbos one level higher. We're not asking to... It's not Bnei Brak. Yeah, we're asking, where are you going to start? What's the thing? Or learning Torah, how am I going to make sure that tomorrow I'm going to learn Torah more than today? For example. והדרך זה, והדרך בקעה מצב וגדר בגדר. It says you find a hole, so you put a fence around the hole so you're not going to fall into it. In other words, you have a problem with alcohol. Don't go to places where they drink alcohol. In other words, it says, it's not just going to say, you know what? Usually I do stupid thing when I put alcohol and I know this part is going to be in alcohol. Maybe I shouldn't go to this party. I should go to another party where they don't serve alcohol. For example, it says, if you don't know the weakness, if you don't realize where you are, it's not going to do it. But not to go to a place where there's alcohol, that's not so bad. If you're already in the party, it's hard. But if you don't go to the party from the beginning, it's much easier. It says that you can battle. You're right, that if you're in the party, you won't be able to stop it. But you don't have to get to the party. In order not to go there, you need to understand what's your weakness and what's your strength. Page 10. וזה מה שנאמר, and this is what it says that they told to the spy, that Moshe says to the spy, וראיתם את הארץ. It says, this is why I sent you to the land. I'm sending you to the land in order for you to realize how to conquer it. Every land, every place in your body is different. מהי? השמנה היא עם רזה. Is it fat? Is it weak? Is it thin? שכל זה נוגע כדי לדעת את פרטי העבודה שבהם צריכים לעסוק בארץ זו. Because that directly is relevant to how you're going to conquer that place. If it's fat, there's a different conquering than when it's weak. כלומר, אם זוהי ארץ שמנה, if it's a fat land, שאז צריכים להבין מן ביקורים מן המובחר, או שארץ רזה שאין מביאים מן הביקורים, or it's a land that is weak, that you don't bring from it bikurim. Let's take an example, right? Let's take an example. A person finds himself, I know what my problem, where I'm fat. Where am I fat? I love money. I love money. So a person, when he loves money, he cannot go and conquer, I love money. It's impossible to conquer, to tell yourself, don't like money so much. Don't like money. Don't. Because you love money. You won't be able to change it. Or if you will be able to change it, it's going to take you 50 years to change it. You don't have time to conquer it through such a strategy. It's a stupid strategy. So it tells you, continue to love money. I didn't tell you that. Continue to love money. Love money even more than before. What do? You love money, and what do you do? I'm going to make extra money, and I'm going to take the extra money and build one more school, and build one more hospital, and build one more good things, and donate much more. In other words, continue to love money, to do something with the money. That's what it means. You have to realize where your problems are, and attack them correctly. That's the idea. והדרך זה מובן בנוגע לשליחותו של כל אחד ואחד מישראל. And now we can understand about the mission of every Jew. שבהיותו במקום מסוים. God put you in the place that you are for a specific reason. You have to conquer the place that you are. The people that you come in contact with, you're the only one in the world who are coming in contact with this area, with these people. Nobody else is. Nobody else can do your job. And every area is different, and every person is different. And you have to start having a nose for the area that you're getting in touch with. עליו לברר את טיבה של הארץ ותושביה. Immediately a person has to smell in yourself also, not just in other people. The nature of you, the nature of the environment. אם היא ארץ רזה, if the land is thin, שאז צריכים לעסוק במצוות הצדקה. If it's thin, you need to give us an extra money over there. וכיוצא בזה, and so much, וכן בנוגע למצב הרוחני של יושבי המקום. Maybe your spiritual area in some areas is thin, it's weak, it's poor. So you need to give charity in that place. You need to give more energy. Put extra coins into that area in your life. Kashrus, Shabbos, learning Torah, whatever the thing is. אם הם נמצאים במצב של עניים בדעת בענייני יהדות, if you or other people have a problem, they're not learning enough Torah, צריכים להתחיל עמהם בלימוד האלף בית של יהדות. You have to start in the beginning. Explain to them what is Shabbos, what is kosher, what is family purity. ואם יש להם כבר עשירות בדעת בענייני יהדות, and if they know אלף בייס, they know what is Shabbos, they already keep Shabbos, they already know, צריכים להוסיף באופן נעלה יותר. So teach them the next step. וכללות ההוראה בזה, and the message behind it, שהיהודי בעצמו צריך לתור את הארץ. Every day, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to wake up in the morning and to take a tour of the land. Because, see, some days if you tour the land on a Monday, on Tuesday it's a different land. On a Monday you might be strong in one area, and on Tuesday you might be weak in that area. You need to constantly tour the land, to see, to smell, to keep in touch. It's like a businessman. Not every day is the same in business. If you come, you think, no. Today you need to do this. Tomorrow you need to do something else. You need to smell what's going on. Today the workers didn't come. Tomorrow 2 extra workers came. Yeah, whatever you have to fill in that day, that's what you have to do. Now you have to be completely involved every day in what you're supposed to do. היינו, שאין לו להמתין עד שישמע בת קול. Just like a business. You don't wait for the guy, for a customer to call you, hey, why is your store on Columbus closed today? If the customer is telling you why is the store Columbus you there, you don't even know it's closed because the guy was sick and he didn't come and open it in the morning, you're in trouble. You have to know before it happens. You have to know what's going on. או שישמע דבריו של נביא, or you waiting for a prophet to tell you, שבמקום זה צריכים לעסוק בעניין פלוני. It's your job to find by yourself, by the people around you, what's going on. Don't wait for a tzaddik to come and tell you what to do. אלא הוא בעצמו צריך לתור את הארץ. Him, by himself, the Jew, every day has to go tour in himself. ולראות מהו הדבר הכי נחוץ שצריכים להתחיל לעסוק במקום זה. What is the most important thing you need to do? וכאמור, like we said, page 11, השליחות לתור את הארץ, when God tells us go and tour the land, היא רק לקבוע את מצבה של הארץ. It's not to see if you can conquer the land. It's just to see how to conquer the lands. כדי לדעת באיזה עניין צריכים לעסוק בראשונה. To see what's more important now. Yeah? Sometimes this is more important for this person, sometimes this is more important for another person. If the person is starving, he doesn't have any food, the first thing to conquer the land is to help him with food. Don't teach him now Kabbalah. Yeah, exactly. Every place to its place. In Russia, in Ukraine right now, you know what Chabad does? Soup kitchens. Because that's what Ukraine needs right now. If you go 3 years ago, it wasn't soup kitchens, it was something else. Yeah, exactly. It was mikvahs then or something else. It depends on the day, it depends on the time. ולא כדי לראות אם יש לו סיכויים להצליח ממנו שליחות. You're not there to send, oh, it's too much, I can do it or not can do it. That's not why God sent you to tour. He sent you to tour to see what to do.
For sure you can do it.
That's right, just find what to do. כי ביודעו שזוהי שליחותו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, when he knows this is what God sent you, ויש לו את כוח המשלח, he has the strength of the guy who sent him, הרי בוודאי שעלו נעלה וירשנו אותה כי יכול נאכלה. For sure the attitude is, we can do it. So that's one message. But there's a deeper message also. ועוד לימוד והוראה בזה, there's another teaching. What's the other teaching? The other teaching is a wonderful teaching. There's a law in the Torah, אחרי רבים להטות, that you go after the majority. And now it's not understood. Moshe sent 12 spies. And the 12 spies came back. 10 said one thing and 2 says the other things. We should go by the majority. So over here we learned one more thing. אפילו כאשר שומע מ10 אנשים, even when you hear from 10 people, עדה שלמה, a whole nation, and by us it doesn't have to be, it can be 1,000,000 people, it doesn't matter how many, it's not the number. A whole nation. By the way, it wasn't only the 10 people. The 10 people convinced the entire nation. There were the entire nation against 3. Moshe, Aaron, and Caleb. It was everybody against 3. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yoshua וכלב. Yeah. עדה שלמה שלא נוכל לעלות אל העם, כי חזק הוא ממנו. He says, everybody says, look, we can't conquer it. It's too much. He says, we're not going to be able to. It's like, it's almost like saying, can you find a way for me to beat Mike Tyson in a fair fight? When Mike Tyson is in his prime. So forget about it. So I'm saying, go as a spy and tell me how. So if you're normal, you're going to come back and you say, Rabbi, he's going to kill you, don't bother. Right? This is what the spy came back and said. Rabbi, he's going to kill you, don't come. So it wasn't the question, that's right. The question was, tell me where he's weak, tell me where he's strong. That's what I asked you.
Look at his nose. Maybe I should hit him in the nose.
And even if you think that if I take all my power, everything, and I hit him in the nose, he's going to say, what? Where are you? He's not even going to feel it. It doesn't matter. All I asked you is to find out where he's weak, where he's strong. אין לו להתפעל מכך. It says, even if the entire nation, over here, the 10, by the way, you might understand in Kabbalah, כל כוחות הנפש. All the 10 powers of the soul can tell you, it's not, forget about it. Your intellect tells you it's only going to work. Your emotion is going to tell you it's not going to work. It's not going to work. What are you, crazy? You can't conquer your evil inclination. What, you're going to wake up one day and not going to be hungry. You're going to wake up one day not going to be tired. You're going to wake up one day and not want to eat steak. Not be thirsty. It's not going to work. What are you talking about? ויש לו נתינת כוח מיוחדת שלא יושפע מדבריהם של המרגלים. So we see what Caleb did. What did Caleb do? He davened to God. Make sure that my evil inclination is not going to tell me I can't do it. Because I know what's going to happen. Every day he's going to come and tell me, forget about it. So you can't do it. You can't. He's going to tell you every day. What are you doing? You can't do it. כפי שמצינו בנוגע ליהושע. It says when it comes to Yoshua, Moshe davened on Yoshua. Caleb had to do it on himself. By the way, why did Moshe daven only on Yoshua and not on other tribes? A whole class it, but in simplicity because Yoshua was the leader. The next leader, he needed the power. ויקרא משה ליהושע בן יהושע, פירוש רלי, התפלל עליו. It says, why did he change his name from Moshe to Yoshua? Moshe prayed, יושיעך השם מעצת המרגלים, that God is going to save you, because the spies is going to try to convince you that it cannot be done. I want you to be strong, to know that if God sent you, it can be done. Furthermore, יתרה מזו, even further, אפילו לאחרי שאותם 10 הביאו דעתם ואמרו שאין אפשר לכבוש את הארץ מפני שעז העם. Even after your all powers, everything about you tells you, forget about it, you won't be able to. Your intellect tells you you won't be able to conquer it. Your emotion tells you you won't be able to conquer it. Your entire being tells you you can't conquer it. You can't conquer the evil inclination. Why you can't conquer the evil inclination? עז העם. Evil inclination is strong. What do you think? He's a weakling? Every day he's coming. היושב בארץ והערים בצורות. And not only is strong, he's fortified. He knows the tricks. He knows the terrain. He knows everything. He has all the advantages. You are only a weakling. הצליח כלב לבדו בתור יחיד, still nevertheless, you see that כלב by himself, להפנות את תשומת ליבו של העם כולו לדבריו הוא. He was able to go to the nation, to the body and tell them, no, if God told, I know it doesn't make sense to the intellect, I know it doesn't make sense to the emotions, but if God told you you can do it, you can. כמו שכתוב, like it says, ויחס כלב את העם אל משה. Caleb went and quieted the nation to the opinion of Moshe. He says, yes, it can be done. ויאמר, and he says to them, הלא נעלה וירשנו אותה כי יכול נאכלה. It says, we are able to. Because God is behind us. ולולי התערבותם של המרגלים לאחרי כן, by the way, after the מרגלים, after the spies came with the report, כלב ויעש את העם, ויעש את העם אל משה, at that moment, the nation was on the side of Moshe. And a second later, the Meraglim opened the spies went against us. What is he talking about? He's going to kill you. He's going to kill you. You're going to fight against the American nation, you're going to die. What are you talking about? ולולי התערבותם של המרגלים לאחרי כן, without the spies coming on afterwards, היו זוכים להיכנס לארץ תכף ומיד. They would come immediately into the land, ולא היו צריכים את התל אביב של המדבר. They wouldn't have need those 40 years in the desert. וזוהי גם המענה, and this is also the answer, לאלו שטוענים שצריכים להתחדש בדעת הרוב. Some people say that it's a democracy. In a democracy you have to go by democratic will, the democratic will of the people. The majority rules. But when does majority rule? Majority rule is a good concept. When? Only when the two opinions are the same. Are Torah views. Let me give you an example. If the spies would come back and the spies will say, Moshe, because of this and this and this, our opinion is that you have to attack from the south. And Yeshua and Caleb would come and he says, Moshe, because of this and this, these guys are liars. You can't trust them. We think we have to attack from the north. Then you have to go after the majority. But when the majority tells you something which is opposite the Torah says you can conquer the land. They come and say you can't. You don't even listen to them. By the way, and that's even if the majority makes a mistake, you have to listen to the majority. Yeah, as long as they tell you the Torah view. Yeah, as long as there is something to hold by. If it's Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel, both Torah views, then you will go with the majority. But if one tells you 2 + 2 = 4, and one is telling you 2 + 2 = 5, you don't say the majority says 2 + 2 = 5. The majority of the people today in America tells you that a man is a woman. So therefore, a man is a woman. No, a man is not a woman, even if 99% of the population of the earth is going to tell you a man is a woman. It's not. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. I can put this now on YouTube. Okay? Okay. So it says, מה ערכה של דעת הרוב? It says, what value has the majority opinion כאשר זוהי דעתם האישית? When this is the opinions. It's not the Torah opinion, it's not God's opinion, it's a person's opinion. לגבי דעתו של היחיד, compared to the knowledge of God, כאשר, or in the individual that says the knowledge of God, אומר את דבריו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, שנאמרו למשה רבנו, that says to Moshe. כלומר, which means, אין להתחשב בעדיפות מציאות הרוב ביחס למיעוט. It says, it's not important if the majority thinks that the law should be like them because they're the majority. Okay? The majority in America thought that slavery was right. Right? The majority in America thought that slavery was right. That doesn't mean that slavery was right. The majority of women in America now thinks that killing babies is the right of women. Okay. That doesn't mean that killing babies is the right of women. Yeah. It doesn't mean. You can have 99% of the land telling you killing babies is the right of the women. It's not. כי אם בתוכן הדברים, if you argue with me under which circumstances you're allowed to kill, then we'll talk. Because there are some circumstances where a woman is supposed to have an abortion. She's not allowed not to have one. Yeah? But still, you understand what I'm saying? היינו, העדיפות לקיום רצונו של הקדוש ברוך הוא תמורת שמיעת דעתם האישית של בני אדם. Page 13. And then there's one more message after that. ישנה הוראה נוספת שלמדים מסיפור המרגלים. There's one more message we can learn. מבואר בדרושי חסידות, it says by חסידים, שטענתם של המרגלים הייתה שאינם רוצים להיכנס לארץ מכיוון ששם יצטרכו לעסוק בענייני גשמיים. According to Kabbalah, the reason why the spies did not want to go into the land, because in the desert everything was supplied. All that you needed to do is sit down and learn Torah. It was a spiritual, imagine sitting in yeshiva and connecting to God your entire life. What can be better? ולכן טענו, and this is why they said, מוטב להישאר במדבר, it's better to stay in the desert. What does it mean to stay in the desert in our life? היינו להיות מופרשים ומובדלים מענייני העולם. It says, why do we have to get involved with matters of the world? Go out, get a job, get involved with people. Forget people. People are discussing men or women, women or men. I don't have power for that. I'll come every day, sit in kollel, learn Torah the entire day. That's what I'm supposed to do. God tells you immediately, you have a business? Go out and deal with this. Go out into the world and don't say, I don't want to get involved. It's not my fight. It absolutely is your fight. That's the third lesson. ובזה התבטם חטאם של מרגלים. The spies said, you know what we need to do? We need to stay in Bnei Brak, learn Torah, open our own thing, open our own environment. Who cares about the goyim? Who cares about the other nation? Let them think that a man is a woman and a woman is a man. What's got to do with us? It says, we thought our responsibility. People are crazy. Let them be crazy. It says, no, it tells you, you can't do that. You can't stay in the desert and you have to get involved in this. This is your job. מכיוון שרצונו של הקדוש ברוך הוא שיעסקו בענייני העולם. God wants you to go out into this world. Change the opinion of the world. And change of the opinion of the world, it doesn't mean Christianity, yell at them. It means show them how's the right way. They should see a person and they should say, I want to be like him. I want to emulate him. It's through showing. It's not through screaming at him, you're doing something wrong. No. Show him that he wants. Show him what he's missing. Show him what's the right life. ושם גופה התנהגו באופן המתאים. Where? In this world. וההוראה מזה מביא פשטות. So this is the message. תפקידו של יהודי הוא לא להיות מפרש ומובדל בני העולם. Don't go away from the matters of the world. אלא אדרבה, but furthermore. לנצל את ענייני העולם לקדושה. If a person has a business, he comes in contact with people, use it. לדוגמה, for example, this is an example the Rebbe gave, מציאות הרדיו בעולם, the fact that there's radio in the world today, the fact that there's internet in the world, צריכה להיות מנוצלת לשם מירת שיעורי תורה. One shouldn't say, internet, we're not going involved, it's out of the house. Don't put internet in your house. No, it's too dangerous. It is too dangerous, so you have to put the proper blocks for yourself and for your children. But after that, use it for what? For Torah and mitzvahs. Leshem amirat shurei Torah, you can say, like we do over here with YouTube. We put in this, in order to say words of Torah, besfat medina, and it has to be in English specifically. You live in England, over here, not just in Hebrew. We can have a class in Hebrew. And how many people are going to understand? Or we can say it in English, so that many more people are going to understand. באופן של פרסום, you have to put it in YouTube, make advertisements. ולכן, כאשר יש לו רדיו, and therefore when a person has a radio, עליו לנצל זאת לשמיעת שיעורי תורה, then he can use it for learning Torah. וכיוצא בזה בשענייני עולם, and in all other things. וכמו כן, כאשר הקדוש ברוך הוא בירכו בממון מיותר, when God blessed a person with extra money, you know, every one of us is blessed with extra money. מכפי המוכח לו, more than what we can eat. What are we going to do? We're going to put it in the bank. We're going to make towers of gold. You know, like Donald Duck, swim in a pool full of gold coins. אין לו להתנער מזה, בחשבו לניסיון שבעשירות. In other words, over here we have, the Rebbe is talking about somebody has a talent. What is his talent? He knows how to make money. It's a talent. Not everybody has it. Some people have a talent not to make money. Some people know how to make money. So the person who has talent, he knows how to make money, he says, this is stupidity. Who needs money? I'm comfortable. I don't need money. It's stupidity. So know what I should do all day long? I should sit down and learn Torah all day long. So God told him, absolutely wrong. You have a talent to make money? Go make millions more. If you until now you made 10 million, go next year make 50 million, and the 50 million go use to change the world. You have the talent, don't waste it. Yes, of course, learn Torah also. Of course, increase in learning Torah. But that doesn't mean you can say to yourself, I'm just going to hide and now become a kollel boy. You can't become, you don't have that. You have a specific talent, you have a job in the world, you have to go out in the world and do it. אלא אדרבה, עליו לנצל זאת כדי לתת לצדקה עבור מוסדות חינוך. I know you don't, in other words, the Rebbe says, I know you don't need the money for yourself. I know you have, you're comfortable, but you have a talent, so use your talent for me, God says. Use your talent to bring more money into this world, and so on.